that only people that look like them, behave like them, think like them, and act like them should be in these neighborhoods because everyone's more comfortable with people who are just like them. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
how we got this whole ghetto. How we got this whole, oh, this is my hood, this is my turf, my area, whatever sort of stigmatism that goes on now today because everybody wants to be around people that look, think, and act like them versus branching out and me living by someone like Lee or like Tally who lives in north of the border because everyone has different experiences and different perceptions about how things happen and that's what makes us all unique living in this on this continent. I can't even say this country because somebody lives north of the border. But until we break down those things and see people for people and not, oh, I'm black, you're white, or I'm black, you're Caribbean or Armenian or whatever, then we're gonna keep going through these issues because there's a barrier of a communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had this conversation with Peyton yesterday because when I grew up in El Paso, I experienced like the obverse. Like I had experienced like racism because I lived in like a very Hispanic black neighborhood, and that was like the majority of my life. I legit thought for a long time that like white people were the minority. I had no clue. Oh, because like even when I would go visit family, like half my family's Hispanic, so I just thought it was normal. Well, like I legit remember as a kid, it like walking around. What? Oh my God! What was that?
I heard that too. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
Yikes.
But I remember as a kid and literally just walking home from school. And there were 3 little black kids just throwing rocks at me because I was white. Hey, and it took somebody else to get involved. Because what was I gonna do? Somebody like fucking throwing rocks at me. I'm not getting in close without getting even more hurt. And luckily, hey, this dude came out. I'll never forget him. His name was Mr. Jenkins. Huge dude, 6'5" or some shit. But regardless, like it took somebody else coming out and getting involved. But like regardless of that growing up like that, and then like joining the military later and kind of seeing everything, and like the world is like a huge mixing pot, and it's so weird to see like the hostility and like the blatant ignorance in a lot of white people when it comes to like saying or doing certain things like I know damn well if I have a question about another race, there's like a tactful way to go about it. Like if I'm curious about something, I'm not just out here just fucking doing or saying shit. I know if I like when I was growing up, if I said the N-word, I was dead. I was gonna fucking die. Like somebody was gonna beat the shit out of me. Hey, understandably.
Period.
Yeah, that's what I grew up with. But like joining the military and running into these other white kids, who never grew up with that mentality or had that fear. Here, they say it like it's nothing and it's mind blowing. I'm just like, oh, what? Like you ain't fearing for your life right now? Like, where's this coming from?
All I'm gonna say is like,
Go ahead.
Like for me now, I've heard different like definitions because I've asked multiple different black people on the whole perspective of the N-word and why white people can't say it. One definition I've heard is that like it's their word now. It's been turned around from such a negative connotation and to be turned into such a positive word for the community and culture. Or I've heard that definition. Like some people just, it's a generational thing. It just kind of happened. And like there's those are like the 2 main ones actually.
The first one would be I think for all of us here, I think the first one would really be our go-to answer. The thing about Black people in general because we've gone through so much as a people, we learned how to cope and take things and twist it around to make it a positive thing. And so that was our way of taking our power back. Like, hey, you can't have this word. This word is ours now. But I also think it's a respect thing when other races understand that they cannot use it. It's not more so you can't use it. You should be respectful and understand, and not even want to use that word.
Right.
Yeah.
And like and it's not just like the N-word that y'all have turned around. Y'all have taken like
exactly
the whole aspect of Tim's and turned that around. Tim's was just a work boot. Now it's a fashion statement. Like it is.
That's true.
All I can say about the situation is that it's real quiet gentrification in like lower income neighborhoods or our neighborhoods. It's real quiet on their side. But as soon as it's one of us out there, you know, they have absolutely no issues going off. I just find it funny because like where I grew up in Montreal, like even like taking the bus home from school, there's like a little like area called Walkley. Back in the 90s, like it was very dangerous to be out there. There's a lot of gangs and whatnot. And now it's becoming gentrified. So it's pushing out a lot of like the old heads that are living there, forcing them out. Now you're seeing more and more white people out there. And it's so weird. I find it so ironic, you know? I find that funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so man, that was a good, like, that's not even a topic, but that was a good conversation though. Like,
mean, the perspective that Lee gave, I don't think I've ever gotten that perspective ever from anybody white at all. Like, I mean, I've gotten like, I grew up in a Black neighborhood. This is why I feel like I can do this, that, and a third, because I was around.
Yes.
So I feel like that's who I am type of deal. Lee gave the perspective.
I've heard that shit too.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
look how this
I just love the way you reacted.
I know exactly what she's talking about, and where like you'll hear like the fucking overuse of certain slang and shit, and like overdoing it with dressing a certain type of way, or like an excessive use of like dog. I'm just like, bro, chill, man. Like,
it's not you, right? Like, we know it's not you.
Yeah, I'm like, they're like, I came from such and such hood, so I'm like, that's why I'm like this. You know, you accept me like I am. Shut the fuck up, bro. I
high school.
I as well came from the nitty gritty, but you don't see me acting a fool like you.
So you agree that it's cultural appropriation that they're doing, that they're purposely acting that
way? Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey,
wow.
you heard it from him.
I'm like,
appropriation.
No, culture is totally a fucking thing, man.
Fact.
It's one thing, and if like, you know, it's like hip hop stuff, you know, I have a huge love for hip hop and rap, and I know that's a huge Black culture thing, and you know, I like the idea of like wearing a gold chain and shit. I do feel like that's like a huge play. Well, like, yeah, I like there's certain things that like, you know, have kind of rubbed off on me, and I you know, I like, and but like, I'm also aware that like I can't pull off certain things like Black people can, and you know, and I don't force these certain interactions, and.
But the thing is that you're aware, and then if someone talks to you about it, you don't try to justify it, because and you'll be like, okay, this is why I did it. My bad. I won't do it again. Because I mean, I've had people where like I've called them out on it, and then I know shit, especially in high school. They're like, well, I'm blacker than you.
I hate that shit.
You can't.
I remember I whooped his ass, and we were both in the principal's office, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And I mean, because I've always heard shit like that, and it's like just because, and it's like, nah, just because I don't drop the N word doesn't mean you can drop the N word. Just because you know me doesn't mean, you know, like I'm not your free pass to do whatever the fuck you want. And then you try to say, well, why does it defend you? Because you're not even black. But if you have someone with the perspective of Lee saying, hey, well, this is my story, my bad. How can I do it better? And that's the thing. A lot of people they don't have that. They don't have your insight, Lee. They don't have your empathy about it, and just like legitly wanting to learn and understand.
They just want to
like another part of it comes from that, like, I've never had like a white person ever come to my aid when it came to like getting jumped and shit, or like it was always a black person, it was always an Hispanic person, and to help me out because you know, like protect me in like these horrible situations or educate me on these types of things, and a white person never stood in. And I think that's why I am today, that like for me, when it comes to like making friends with like other white people and stuff, it's a bit harder because I'm a lot more skeptical about like how other white people grew up. And like I am completely aware that like white privilege is a thing, and like I don't have to deal with half the shit I used to deal with as a kid.
Listen, man.
Like in El Paso, I'd like remember like getting pulled over for bullshit, like coming back from like my Popeyes job, by like this one Hispanic police officer, Officer Ramirez, and like and being put in such extreme circumstances is like a car would get searched every fucking time. He'd be talking shit to me in English and Spanish. And I'm just doing as he's saying because I'm just trying to go home. But like I've had those certain circumstances where like police have literally put a gun to my head just to fuck with me, never to intend to kill me, but like I have a huge respect for all minorities and the shit that y'all go through on a daily basis. I am very fortunate to not have to deal with it as much as y'all, and I see that as an adult, and growing, like living as an adult in these different states and different areas, being in the military.
Well, Selena and I are moving to Saturdays, and you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah, thank you for that.
We still might Saturday episode.
like Lee has like opened up a whole new spectrum of like respect from me.
Yes,
like,
period.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like not that I didn't like respect you before, but it's just like hearing more like about your background. Honestly, just like opens my heart to a different level of, because mind you, like I'm not too keen with white people. I ain't gonna lie.
It's like we said earlier, though. Communication does fucking wonders.
Communication does go a long way, and I'm not like, oh, like fuck white people, but it's just like
you gotta understand. Go ahead, Selena. I'm sorry. It's years of mistrust, is what Selena.
Yeah, it's just like from my perspective, like. When I was in elementary school, I was in an all-black elementary school. Like I was like one of the favorite, I was one of the favorites. I can say that I was one of the favorites. I was the one singing the announcements and saying the announcements in the morning. I was the basketball star. I was this, I was that in elementary school. Then turn around, mind you, I was in an all-black school. 6th grade elementary school, I went to an all-white school. Like majority of the kids, it was like 5 black kids in the school. So it's like I went from home to feeling like I was out of the country. You get what I'm saying? Just because like I felt like a straight up outcast the whole way through. Like we talking about, we got Mean Girls and this, that, and the third, and like just all type of stuff. So it's like to see the flip side of it's like you dealt with the same thing, but it's just you're a different color. You get what I'm saying? Like that's literally the only difference.
Yeah.
To me, I look at it as you're a human just like I am. You get what I'm saying? That's how I always look at it. But it's just to know like that you had to like endure like the pulling over and getting beat up or getting bullied and stuff just because of who you are and what your skin color was. Is like, I have to, like, in my heart, I have to appreciate you more because you have an understanding of some type of what we've been through. You get what I'm saying? In a sense, like,
Yeah.
like you actually like understand, like you can say you understand in your own perspective. And I 100% like respect that, bro. Like, I definitely like respect you, like, and so like wow. Just wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just
I
want to
feel
say
like-
thank you for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah. So with my particular experiences, it's a lot harder to like explain to people, because it's like not everybody's so used to hearing that, and a lot of people like kind of just disregard when I say like I understand. Like I literally have to like explain my whole backstory for like to get a say in certain situations, and like it's so I like the fact that I have to explain myself every time is very frustrating. It's understandable, but it's very taxing on me. When it comes to like people introducing me to like different communities and cultures, or it's like they're aware of me and my experiences and can speak for me. But like a lot of Black people, a lot of Hispanics are like very like, skeptical. It's another white person. Are they really that cool? Or do you just
Yeah.
think they're funny?
Mhm.
Like like for me, it still takes me like a long time for a lot of people to like warm up to me because they're not aware of my situation and understanding of certain situations. And it's like some people will take what I'm saying, oh, he's just saying that because it's like he wants to get closer to us or whatever because he thinks that's the cool thing to do, when that was never the case. I am genuinely and always an ally to the culture and community, because I've seen what it does to people. I have a level of understanding. I've been through this shit. It gets so hard. Like for me personally, I do not like being called white boy or anything. Some people like disregard that shit. I do not like being called white boy, cracker, or whatever, fucking gringo, like all this shit. I do not appreciate it. I also really don't appreciate like being called like an honorary like Black person. You heard that in the Real Talk the other day. Like
Yeah,
I
that
didn't.
was wild. That was a wild statement.
Listen, man.
You know what?
Hey,
You have
understand.
no idea how much we appreciate this. You really don't.
like I understand where it's coming from. You're like, because of what he was saying, he was just like, oh, okay, all Black people are like this, but except you. Like I'm not aware of where I'm at. I want to be recognized for being Lee. The fact that you always have to bring up that I'm white, in these group settings, like that makes me feel like shit. Honestly, like hey, like I understand, but but that doesn't stop like my head spinning, like in these certain scenarios, and my stomach turning, and because like you feel like you had to say that. Oh, by the way, there's this one white person here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, great. Like you couldn't just recognize me as a respectable individual.
Yeah.
Right, like respecting you as a member of the panel instead of me going, aha, now we have our token. Why not? No, like
Yeah, like there is no reason for you to point me out. Like,
right.
there's no reason. Absolutely not. Yeah, that like to me that's not okay. I understand like it's coming from a good place, Ace, but that was never necessary. There's no reason to say that shit.
Right. Facts. Okay. All right. So we gonna jump into the next one. This is a good subtopic. I'm gonna cut that down and I'm gonna put it on its own little thing because I like that whole